Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast. In this episode, I'll be doing a November 2025 life update. But before I get started with the episode properly, I should mention I'm recording this episode on the 11th of November 2025. So as I've mentioned in previous episodes and possibly future ones, depending upon when this episode is released, that kind of you will have noticed that last weekend from when I'm recording this, or last week when you're seeing this, that Chuck had to cover for me because I wasn't particularly work busy like I have been the last few weeks, but had been busy with the other bits of my life. So that kind of was some of the reasons why I wasn't able to record, because as long-time listeners of the podcast will know by now, and are probably sick of me saying it, that I record episodes in blocks. I don't just record one episode. So, yeah. Yeah, it was a very strange week last week, because it was like every bit of my life, because I wasn't working as much, was kind of getting a look in, apart from the podcast, which I actually did get a look in, but earlier on in the week, and at that time I didn't have enough episodes to record to last the week that I didn't have the time to record, and the few weeks before it was insane with work. So it was, so it was basically what happened was that because I'd recorded so many a while ago, that kind of it just caught up with me, and there wasn't as many episodes. So I tend to record 4 or 5 episodes in a go. Actually, the day that I'm recording this episode, I'm doing 3. But obviously they won't all come out the day I'm recording. They're spread out. So yeah, it tends to go between 3 and 5. It doesn't tend to go much higher or lower than that. So yeah, that's kind of why life updates. I had my graduation. That was the one of the reasons why I wasn't able to record. So yeah, that was strange, with finishing university about 6 months ago, and then having to kind of get back into that headspace, and seeing all the people that I was at uni with was a very peculiar and unusual thing, because I'd not done it before. So yeah, it was interesting. It was nice to kind of just have that, and now I've closed the book, because you will have mentioned that, you will have noticed that if you were listening to the podcast or watching it a couple of months ago, I did talk about it, and I did mention that me finishing uni meant that the podcast should get a bit more of a look in, but obviously that was pre me finding permanent work. So yeah, that's kind of just the work now replaces the time that I had at uni, really. So it's just one of those. But and also I did some volunteering stuff, because the 11th of November is Armistice Day. It's got to do with World War One. So it's that's what I was doing at the weekend, which means that I wasn't able to record then either. So those are kind of the two big reasons. Obviously, with the podcasts, as you will know by now, that kind of we don't tend to take many breaks. Like the weekend, if Chuck wouldn't have done it, then it would be a couple of days without episodes. But I think it's only happened once, because I think it was very last minute that it turned out that I wasn't able to record for some reason. So it was, and because I hadn't written or recorded any episodes, it was very strange. But yeah, so it doesn't happen very often. But as we approach the Christmas period, the podcast will continue. It'll just
Obviously, they're pre-recorded as usual, so it's not. And yeah, I need to start thinking about what the podcast's Christmas special is actually going to look like this year, as we are in the middle of November now, so we'll just see what happens there. But without further ado, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. As well as anything else you want me to cover the channel, such as any previews or recaps, put those in the comments below as well. Remember, you can also like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.